curious is happening on your block at Michigan Central, and it involves drones. Joining me now is the president and CEO of Airspace Link, Michael Healander. Airspace Link is one of the latest companies to have moved into and partnered with Michigan Central. Thanks so much for being here, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me about the company, first of all. You want to be the Google Maps for drones?
Yes, yeah, we are the Google Maps for drones. We're one of the leading companies in the United States. We're an FAA-approved management system. You think of air traffic control and you think of Google Maps for your car, we do that. We help route authorized flights here in the United States from recreational pilots up to advanced aerial mobility systems. So that's what we do, Google Maps for drones.
Wow, that's so interesting. And these are like big drones. These aren't drones that people are just flying casually.
These are little Johnny's drone uses our system. So we are the required system in the United States for kids, to commercial pilots, to utility companies, up into drone delivery systems that you see with like Amazon and package delivery. Our systems will be supporting those advanced operations as well. So we have to make sure that everyone is flying correctly, from the small drones up to the air taxis, for them to actually work together.
Sure, I mean, that makes sense, right? You're all sharing the same airspace.
You got it.
So you mentioned the FAA, it's approved it, but obviously with all of these layoffs happening with the federal government, has that affected your work at all?
That's interesting. So we have a public-private partnership with the FAA, so we're under contract. Our system is on the FAA website, so when you go to use it, you're using our system. Luckily, it's privatized. We're doing it for them, and we're keeping the systems running. So it could be in the future, but today, people can fly and access the airspace through our system today. If something happens in the future, we can continue to run the system.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily directly impact your operations.
No.
So talk about the decision to move into Michigan Central.
Yeah.
I mean, here in Detroit, that is like the newest, most current place to be.
Yeah, so two parts to that. One is we're a tenant, and two, we're actually the infrastructure and the system to support innovation in drones to access the airspace. We don't fly drones, we don't build them, but we create the ecosystem, the infrastructure, to allow them to start to do advanced operations and attract business here, and companies to start building drones. But our own story is that we started, my wife and I, and Danny, our co-founder, came up with an idea 5 years ago, pitched the idea to some local investors, and since then we've raised $40 million as a local startup, and Michigan Central enticed us to come over there, and it allows us to actually not just build software, but see the drones fly on our software and see it live, which is nice to have software and hardware, seeing it all work together in that environment.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's not often you hear such a big success story from a startup like that.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's great that we're in Detroit, and we have assets and parts of Michigan Central too, and the train station that would never have thought we would have a company in these buildings. And here we are,
amazing.
and it's a high-tech company in aerospace and drones.
It is really amazing. And just talk about the Detroit tech ecosystem, because it's really boomed in the last few years, and what it's like to be a part of it.
Yeah, we started in 2019 with a PowerPoint and idea in downtown Detroit with 3 of us, and now we're 50 people in downtown. And it's amazing because there's all these other startups. And in Michigan Central Book Depository building with New Lab, there's almost hundreds of startups in there, and now we're all working together. Now there's drone companies and drone manufacturing companies that we're installing our software on to allow them to scale their operations. We work throughout the entire United States, but Detroit and Michigan's going to start to be a leader in mobility and this high-tech technology, and I think manufacturing of drones is going to follow quickly behind. So it's amazing that this is happening in Detroit.
You nailed it. It's amazing it's happening in Detroit.
Yeah.
And what an amazing success story you have, having been a local startup, and in just 5 years raising that much money.
Yeah, for a Midwest company. It's crazy. And I didn't live here. I was in California, sold my last company, came back to Michigan because I love raising family here. And I couldn't believe how much it's changed. And we decided to try and start a business here. And it's taken off.
I love it. So where can people learn more?
Airspacelink.com, any of our social media, LinkedIn, we have a big presence there.
All right, well, Michael Healander, CEO of Airspace Link, thank you so much for being here and telling us all about it tonight.
Thank you.